on this episode of the Own Your Now show.
Having cavities, or as we say in the dental field, dental caries, is the number one most common childhood chronic disease. Oh, wow. It's a disease state, and a lot of people don't really realize that.
We're filling our cups with conversations that unite people. Her patients call her Dr. Candy. Coming up, how she finds balance in her role as a wife, a mother, and a pediatric dentist.
Plus, how Ronke Faleti is empowering women in our community through her work with Korede House.
Korede means to bring goodness, but not just like to bring goodness for goodness sake. It connotes bringing goodness back home.
And our Vibe in the Box guest is a whole vibe. Bebe will be with us, treating us to her signature Neosoul vocals.
Sugar, 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 how'd you get so fly? You know you are my favorite kind of candy, sweet.
Grab your cups and let's fill it up. It's all coming up on the Own Your Now show.
Funding for this episode is made possible by Fraser Automotive, friends and supporters of the Own Your Now show. Thank you for supporting this program.
Welcome. My name is Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
And I'm Yolanda Langford, your co-host, and they call me Lady Yo. You know, I still always want to do this, like, you know, it's like a production.
And it is time for the Own Your Now show, where we're all about wellness, opportunity, knowledge, and empowerment. Lady Yo, how are you?
I am fantastic. The energy of the day has been wonderful. How about yourself?
I'm feeling well.
Oh.
I am. Speaking of feeling well, I got to ask you, what's in your cup? What you sipping on?
You know, I'm going to stick to my coffee because it gives me some energy. And again, I hope I don't disappoint you because I have a lot of cream and a lot of sugar today. How about yourself? What you sipping on?
You know I'm sipping on coffee today. I tried the tea, y'all, and I just couldn't get with it. I try to go back and forth, but I sip my coffee black, no sugar, no cream. And of course, it's strong as I like it. But speaking of strong, you know, I want to go back to wellness because this is a wellness show.
Yes.
What do you do for wellness?
Tracy, I take time every day to do a couple of things just for me because the remainder of my day is split between my family and work. I make sure I get up in the morning and I stretch for 13 minutes.
13
minutes. And it is something about taking time to connect with every inch of your body. This gal on YouTube is just fantastic. Okay. And you know what I also do is I take time to put my lipstick on.
All right. Well, you have a beautiful smile. You
Thank
absolutely do.
Thank
I mean,
you.
After all, that's something about the teeth. When I remember growing up when everybody needed to get braces and everything like that. And so now you even see adults with braces.
Oh, absolutely.
But we have some guests that definitely will have to hit on what that looks like to make you have that perfect smile. But dental hygiene is everything. It really is.
And did you know, I heard that if you are a woman of a certain age and you have your own original teeth, that your health is better.
Okay, well, my health is good. But it's also, I think for me, I wake up every morning and I journal, I meditate, I get my coffee. Me time is everything. Me time is the key. But speaking of me time, what is your wellness word for today?
My wellness word for today is perseverance.
Uh-oh.
You know, I say push, it's persevere until something happens.
Okay.
And my mother would say, you know, you're almost there if you wouldn't have quit. And when I was watching the races over the summer, you'll see the ones that persevere because they did what I call the lean.
Yes.
And that's what caused them to win. So if you just persevere, don't quit, and lean.
And lean, and lean. I feel you on that. I can't wait to hear your Lady O 101 tip later on. For me, I think my wellness word is tranquility. It's so important that we find peace for ourselves as mothers, as sisters, as friends. Our cup can be so empty, but when you find that peace within, that allows you to really center yourself. So I'm looking forward to us continuing to find wellness within ourselves. You know, it's time for conversations that unite people.
You're absolutely right.
We're going to fill up our cups for sure.
I can't wait.
Grab your cups. It's time for conversations that unite people. And today we have Dr. Candace Wakefield. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Talk to us. Tell us what is in your cup.
Well, in my cup, I'm a coffee girl, so cappuccino is what I like to drink.
Cappuccino, darling. We're drinking cappuccino, darling. Well, I'm going to jump right into it. I know as an adult, I'm a little afraid to go to the dentist. How do you convince children to sit in that chair for their dental appointments? And I know you have a book that you're going to talk all about too, but how do you convince kids you're going to be okay, and how do you make them comfortable?
That's a great question. You know, I'll begin with my name, Dr. Candy. So that makes them laugh just walking in the door. They always say, a dentist named Candy? So I think that's the first step to making them feel comfortable, is recognizing myself as someone that they can relate to, someone that is having a good time at the dentist office, smiling in front of everyone. And one of the things that we do as soon as they walk in is that we have a aromatherapy that comes through the vent where it smells like grapes, or it might smell like bubble gum. So it doesn't smell like a dental office, you know, it smells like some place where a child wants to be. And then from there they walk in, they have video games, and of course we have our illustrious fish tank with Nemo and Dory and all of the things that they can relate to. But then from there, when they come into the back and we have our actual treatment rooms, they get to pick out their own movie on Netflix or YouTube, parent approved, as well as for some children that are anxious, we even give them a VR headset that they can put on over their eyes if they have anxiety and don't want to see the dental instruments and things like that. Plus there's music. Music always is a mood changer, at least it is for me.
Yes,
and so we have all of the things to appeal to their senses, and I think that's what makes the difference.
Well, Tracy, I have to say this. You can tell she's a whole vibe. You want me to tell you why? Check out her tennis shoes.
She is a vibe. You know, speaking about being a vibe, I love to write, I love to read, and I love when children are reading. I'm already taking this one for my grandson. But talk to us about the value of making sure that our children see that dentistry is something that everybody should be a part of, because what's the age they're supposed to come at? What age?
Age 1. So it's very important to understand one thing. First of all, is that having cavities, or as we say in the dental field, dental caries, is the number one most common childhood chronic disease. It's a disease state, and a lot of people don't really realize that. So by 1 year old, that is the time they should come to the dentist for their first visit, or at least 6 months after the first tooth. So many times I hear from adults or from grandparents, oh no, he's too young, he can't go to the dentist yet. And I always respond to them by saying, would you wait until your child was 3 or 4 to take him to the pediatrician? As soon as you have a tooth, you can have a cavity. And so having a cavity, the CDC reports that by the time a child is 11 years old, 1 in 5 children have had a cavity. By the time they're 20, it's basically 60%. By the time they're an adult, 90% of people have had at least one cavity. So I say all that to say that prevention is key. And these are a lot of things that we can prevent early on. And so it's very important to understand that cavities can affect you in a variety of ways. It's based upon having bacteria in your mouth. And that bacteria in your mouth on a cellular level can spread throughout your body, whether it be heart, lungs, kidneys. It's all related to each other. So that's why dentistry really is about your general overall health, not just your dental health.
I never thought of it like that, that it affects your entire body, and especially it can happen to children. You might think of an adult, you know, when you get an abscess or something like that. But when you're talking about children, it happens to them in that same fashion also.
Yes, it's actually 5 times more common than asthma, 4 times more common than obesity. and is almost 20 times more common than having diabetes as a child. So bringing them to the dentist and having regular scheduled appointments every 6 months, that is crucial.
Key, regular.
Yes.
Key is
The
regular.
key is regular.
That is regular.
One of the things, because you're from the STL, and a little birdie told me that you are the first to be certified for Invisalign First for kids.
Yes, this is true. It's actually a new development with Invisalign. Many have had Invisalign now, but kids can wear Invisalign too. Little retainers, aligners that can help the developing teeth to make room for the adult teeth. And so it's a special technique in the aligners that allow the teeth to be able to move without wires, being able to keep your mouth clean. Kids don't have to worry about, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And then you don't have to worry about brackets falling off and wires poking them in the mouth. It's a very fast and effective way to move teeth when they're in the first stage, as they would say, phase 1 of orthodontic treatment, between 6 and 11. And here's the thing, compliance is better because at that age, they still listen to their parents.
I love that.
When they're teenagers and they have Invisalign for
not
teens,
so much.
not so much. So this is the most important time to do it, to make room for the adult teeth to come in, and also do it in a stable way, because between the ages of 6 and 11, they're not losing any more teeth.
Okay.
And it's only a year treatment.
Now, you have talked about dentistry. We said you're a wife and you're a mother. Honey, how do you do it all?
I don't. But I take lots of vacations. That is my love language, is taking a vacation. I'm gonna make a new love language. So that's how I basically, unwind. Of course, throughout the week, I'm soccer mom. At work, I'm the boss. We're doing lots of different things. But taking vacations is really what's near and dear to me, where I can spend some time for myself. But it's a balance. It definitely is, and I don't always have the balance right. But I like to watch TV late at night. I like my coffee, and that makes me happy in the meantime.
But you agree that as women, we deserve
Absolutely.
to take vacations and to have some me time.
Absolutely.
All
Without
right.
the kids.
Without the kids.
Without the husband sometimes.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. We always talk about how, to me, that's balance. Making sure that self-care and taking that time for yourself. I know that you also love music. We talked about earlier how some people can sing and some people can sing, and you like to rap. I remember your birthday party. We all man, we really celebrating life. The other thing that you're celebrating is, what year is this for your dental group? Because this is all about children.
Yeah, so I've been a dentist for 24 years and in business by myself for the last 19. So this is really special, and I've reinvented myself many times in the dental field. And I'm very happy to say that, there's more things on the horizon. I can't give it all away right now.
Well, honey, when you do, you come back here, because I love an exclusive, okay?
Well, what is your wellness word?
My wellness word would probably be resilience, because, life throws curveballs all the time. One day to the next is full of challenges, but you have to just keep going, whether it is on the home life or whether it's the work life or even in a personal way. Resilience is what carries me through. And when I look back over the challenges, I have to say that I think I've been resilient. And that's what helps me to know that I can bend but not break.
Oh, that's a word.
It.
Bend, but not break. All right.
Well, thank you so much. You have truly filled up our cups. Can't wait to get the book. I know for a fact that I'm going to be reading it with my grandson and my granddaughter now. And we just thank you for filling up our cups. I'm glad that they got Invisalign now for kids.
For kids.
And only a year? Okay.
And I'm glad that the kids have choices, because they deserve choices too. And parents have choices of how they want to align their children's teeth. So,
well, next time you take a ladies' trip, invite us. We'll travel.
Yes.
Won't we?
Straight teeth will travel.
It's a blessing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Conversations that unite people. That's what we're doing here. We're still filling up your cup. And guess what? We have the Ronke Faleti. She is the founder and CEO of Korede House. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Tell us what's in your cup.
Well,
what are you sipping on?
My cup is tea. I sip on tea every day and at the end of the day.
Okay.
Every day and at the end of the day. Okay, well, I know like I want to know, that the audience wants to know,
Yes.
what is Korede House?
Ooh, that's such a great question. So Korede itself is a Yoruba word. I'm a Yoruba woman. I'm from Nigeria, and Korede means to bring goodness. But not just like to bring goodness for goodness sake, it connotes bringing goodness back home. And that's what Korede House means. Oh, that's what Korede means. And Korede House itself, it's a fantastic revolution in maternal care. I can't wait to tell you more about it, but essentially we provide comprehensive care for mothers from pre-pregnancy all the way through menopause.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah.
we know a little bit about that. We know a little bit about that.
Yes.
I've been to this space and
Yes.
I fell in love with it
Yes.
instantly when I walked in. There's something about the village. Talk to us
Yes.
about how you bring in the local village.
Absolutely. So I grew up in a community where it takes a village to raise a kid. And I really do believe that it takes a village to raise the woman who is raising the kid or the business or really making a big impact in life. So our thesis is really threefold. I really do believe that mothers have an outsized impact on change in the future. And we do that through one of three ways. One is through the work of our hands, just like anyone else. Through the work of your hands, you have the ability to change the course of the future. Two is through the spark we nurture. So we are replacing us. We are raising the next janitor, the next physicist, the next chef, the next us.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And we nurture a spark, right? And the third, and a big reason why we exist, is that we're also change the future and change with the trauma we inflict
Yes.
on the next generation and on ourselves. And I believe the reason we do that is we don't want to, but we don't have enough support. We don't have the village. We don't have community. And so the idea of a village and Korede House is a third space. And so your first space is your home. Your second is your work. A third is a home away from home. It's a place you come to belong. It's a community hub. And so Korede House is really this maternal wellness center that provides caregiving. And so mothers can come and be part of this tribe and village and have access to a life stage doula. They have access to a mental health provider. They have access to peer groups and peer leaders. And they have access to each other, because we really do believe that we have to rebuild the work to recreate that community that's been lost, really.
Now, have you always wanted to do something in this arena? I mean, because I just always am astounded when I hear women talk about new things that are may not have been thought of before, and how they're just so wonderful and so needed. So is that something that you've always wanted to do?
No, so I spent 19 years in financial services, and that was my background. And this was a God call.
Yes,
This is really something that, God put on my heart and kind of dragged me out.
Kicking and screaming.
But you know what? God has been so sufficient. And, even me being here, I really do believe that part of God's design is the family unit. And the family unit is really not strong.
Yes.
And you can pick multiple areas in the family. We choose the mother, right? And there's an African proverb that says, if you heal a woman, you heal the nation.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so we are all, that's the work you're doing,
Yes.
right? That's the work you're doing too. So we're all co-creators and collaborators in really building the family. And our vision is to build a more healed and connected society. And it is more important now. Think about what AI is going to do.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
You know,
So important now.
you are such a storyteller. And when people come into the space,
Yes.
they all have a story to tell.
Yes.
But one of the things that I realized is you talk about nurturing.
Yes.
This is not just for biological mothers. When
Right.
you nurture a community, everyone is welcome, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, so our mission is to bring goodness, which is what Korede means, to bring goodness, ease, and inspiration to every mother in the world. And we put an asterisk, we define a mother as one who nurtures, because not everyone who's birthed mothers, and there's so many mothers that we have
So true.
that are not necessarily our biological mother, or some of them haven't even birthed before. So if you have a heart for nurturing, we have a heart for you.
I love that.
if you have a heart for nurturing, we have a heart for you.
Yes.
Oh,
that's it.
you're dropping
I love
the
it.
knowledge.
I
You're
love it.
dropping the knowledge. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about nurturing,
Yes.
I want to talk about wellness because
Yes.
we know that you are a wife.
Yes.
You have 4 beautiful daughters.
3
Three
girls and a
daughters
boy.
and a boy.
Yes.
So, and that means that you were all different directions. Okay. Trust and believe. I understand. But how are you nurturing and creating that wellness for yourself? How are you owning your now?
Wow, thank you for asking that question. I will tell you this. One thing that I've learned is that I need to decompress before engaging with my children. And so sometimes when I drive into the garage, the first thing I say is, God, give me the grace to exercise patience. And so I take, even if it's just those few seconds, but best is an hour. Like an hour between.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Okay.
An hour between when I finish work and then when they come, because I want to be most present to them. Like most, you know, one thing I found, especially when I was in corporate, is that I was parenting on the margins, high stress in the morning and low will in the evening, because I've given my best self and they deserve my best self. And so having that hour decompress is really helpful. The other thing that I do is, my favorite thing in the world to do is to laugh, and I have a very unique laugh. So finding moments of joy. So I link up with girlfriends. I laugh a lot at Korede House. I mean, you know, we do a supper table. So I'm always connecting. You know, I try to get my 7 hugs a day. If you don't, you need to get your 7 hugs a day.
Yes. I'm a hugger.
7 hugs a day.
You know, I already got one, and I got, see, yes. And so those are some of the things, and I love connecting with my husband. We're currently watching this amazing show called Pachinko, and I bought the book, and now we're reading the book together.
I
So
love
that
that.
is something else we do.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Me time and we time.
All right.
Because you got to keep the family unit going.
Yes.
At some point, the kids will flee the nest, and so you have to make sure that you still have connection. At least that's the wisdom in the ether, and we have to make sure we stay connected with one another.
Yeah.
I like connecting. I like
Yes.
connecting with my significant, and I am going to take a little piece out of your book of,
Yes.
you know, maybe get a movie and
Yeah.
then read the book, because
Yeah.
movies are different from the book. So
Absolutely.
I'm borrowing that, sis.
Really quick,
worries. Yes.
what is your wellness word for today?
Well, we've been saying it a lot. Connection.
Connection.
Yes.
Well, you know what? We're going to continue to connect. We know
I
where
can't
to
wait.
find you. We're
Yes.
definitely coming to Korede's
Yes.
house.
Yes.
She's been bragging on you.
Yes. We're
You
going
know,
to have
one
some
thing
dinner.
that is special about the place is that it's beautiful. And so it's intentionally beautiful for women, because beauty itself heals.
Yes.
And
it
so
does.
we can't wait to have you.
Thank
Well, we're ready to come. We thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
filling up our
you.
cups.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
overflowing.
you. Overflowing with beautiful.
I love your smile. And actually, I know everything that Dr. Candy said, you were totally in agreement.
I was totally in agreement, because I know how important a smile can be to someone. I mean, you know, you walk down the street, some people aren't smiling, and if you smile at them, they just might smile back at you.
And what about visiting Korede House? I mean, I'm so ready to go. After all, when you think about the community, us being mothers,
Yes.
and now me being a yaya.
Honey, and we need a third space, okay?
We need a third space. Speaking of community, what is your Lady O one-on-one tip for today?
Let your little light shine.
Oh.
I always heard my mother sing that song, I'm gonna let my little light shine. And to me, it brought back memories of how even it's just a little light, it could show someone another step onto their path. All you need is one step. So all you need is a little light. So let your little light shine.
Well, you know what? Speaking of letting your little light shine, I want to start the Own Your Now flow with everyone understanding that sometimes we don't know how our light is going to shine, but we have to keep pushing and persevering until we get to the what next. And when we get to the what next, we can take a step back and breathe in tranquility. After all, this is what resilience looks like. And then we will all feel connected. Connectivity is the key. Absolutely.
You get it every time. I love it. I love it.
Well, I know we have a beautiful Vibe in the Box guest coming up. Who do we have coming up?
We have the neo soul singer, Bebe.
So remember, anytime that you connect with us, we want to make sure that we fill up your cup.
You know I'm going to offer you peace, love, and positivity.
And remember, tomorrow isn't promised,
So own your
now.
Sugar, 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 how'd you get so fly? You know you are my favorite kind of candy sweet, but you occur naturally, yeah. Honey, tell me how'd your loving get so good? But refined, you are so smooth, good for me. I'll have some every day of the week. So tasty, can't get enough. Babe, we never run over. It's never too much. My garden, we grow. And that's a good thing. I think I'll take some sweet like sugar cane. Whenever I'm with you, baby. Everything I want, everything I need, and it's all in the same place. Sweet like sugar cane.